Hello everyone, it's Cameron again, this time making another ArtFight video because I'm obsessed. Before I continue, consider liking and subscribing if you enjoy art-related content. So, for anyone who isn't aware, what is ArtFight? Well, I'm glad I made you ask. ArtFight is an annual event for artists, shocking, I know, really hard to tell from the name, which starts on July 1st. You're split into two teams, which are different each year, and the goal is to get as many points as you can for your team. The way you get these points is by drawing other people's characters, or making 3D models, or animating, and I'm sure there's other stuff too, I just can't think of it off the top of my head. If you want a more in-depth explanation, then I'd suggest checking out these videos, which I've linked in the description. You should finish this video first though, because I'm really cool. In this video, I wanted to talk about my goals this year, as well as the design I made based off my team, the updates I've made to my profile since my last video, and the tips I think are the most important for anyone new to the game. I'll timestamp the sections, so check the description if you're interested in something specific. Let's start with my Seafoam design. For some unnecessary context, back in 2022, I saw someone design a character based on their ArtFight team, and while I sadly don't remember who it was, it really inspired me. I've been designing characters for my team since then, so now I have Devalia Wither, Phoenix the Vampire, and the new lad, Giovanni of Seafoam. While I don't remember who initially inspired me, I do know that Adrotic, hopefully I'm saying that right, here on YouTube has done this year, so go watch their video on it, which is also in the description. Initially, I was planning to make a sea goddess with a seagull companion, and while I still like the seagull, I found my idea for the sea goddess really boring. After thinking about it for a few days, I decided to restart, so I figured I should begin with something simple like a mermaid. Well, I immediately liked that idea way more, so Simple Mermaid it was. Once I felt satisfied with my concept in my sketchbook, I moved on to digital art. I'll be honest, art block has had me by the jugular, so I definitely got lazy with this, especially towards the end, but I still think he's cute. I realized when working on the sea goddess that I have a habit of defaulting to thin characters, and while there's nothing inherently wrong with that, it's something I've been wanting to work on. This meant that it was important to me to stray away from that with Geo, so I tried to make him heavier. I think I succeeded, but doing that showed me that I have trouble keeping different body types consistent, so I'll definitely work on that more. Once I did the line art for the first headshot, I was already so sick of line art, so I decided that instead of torturing myself, I would keep the full bodies as clean sketches and just line the headshots. I had a somewhat difficult time picking his colors, because I knew I wanted him to have nearly white hair, dark scleras, which is the white part of your eye, and lighter skin, but other than that, I was lost. I figured it out for the most part, but there was a moment when he looked like Vaporeon because of how I colored the fins. But here's how he turned out. What do we think? I think he's cute, albeit a little boring. His color palette could be better, but I'm just happy I finished him before the event. I'm not really a lore guy, because I'm just not super creative in that department, but my idea for Geo is that he's a guard of some kind. I think he's guarding some kind of magical gem. Maybe the gem has something to do with the way mermaids exist in his universe? I wanted to give him a trident, and while prop design isn't my thing, I think I managed to make it pretty terrifying. That serration would hurt quite a bit if you tried to remove it. And between the trident and the net I gave him, I assume he gets into fights, which is why I've decided to make him a guard. I also think he must be from deeper waters, between the pale skin and the maybe he glows in the dark vibe. Do you like how I design a character and then build their story instead of the opposite, like a normal person? It's great. It's super good. On top of the Seafoam design, I also updated my profile. I made my card, updated my PFP, and tried to make my description more appealing. Here's what that looks like now. The speed paints for my card, PFP, and Geo's PFP will play in the background for the next section. Alright, so, what are my goals for this year? Well, my number one goal each year is to improve. One of my favorite aspects of ArtFight is that it gets me out of my comfort zone, which usually helps me improve my art faster in a way that I still find fun and engaging. My next goal is going to be to try and protect my ratio, but I think I'm going to fail at that this year now that I've practically advertised my ArtFight. Let's take a second to appreciate my ratio before it's demolished again like it was after my cousin joined and ruined me one year. I'm really excited to try and attack as many people as I can though. I've been going through my ArtFight followers and already have several references saved. Which brings me to what I would consider to be the most important tips for ArtFight. First, save your references early! ArtFight is notorious for crashing for the first few days of the event because of the influx of activity, and while the moderators have said that they're trying to fix that this year, it's still better to be safe than sorry. Don't just save your references though. Make sure you screenshot the character description and permissions, as well as the little code. This way you have everything you need to draw your attacks, as well as the code for when you go to submit it. The next tip I'd give you is not to feel discouraged if people don't attack back. This doesn't mean they don't appreciate your attack or hate your characters. Sometimes people just don't have the time or energy to revenge everyone, which is perfectly okay. You should never attack someone just in the hopes to receive an attack back. That kind of defeats the spirit of the event. The final tip I have is to take care of yourself. Don't overwork yourself in the first week and burn yourself out. That's something I'm prone to doing, and it definitely leads to me finishing less attacks. Make sure you're hydrating and taking breaks and doing wrist exercises. If you want more tips, I'd watch these videos, which again, I've linked in the description. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble about ArtFight. I'm definitely going to make more videos about it because I love it so much and I can't help myself. So keep an eye out for that and feel free to come attack me. My ArtFight is in the description. I actually scripted this video for the first time, so it's a little shorter than normal. Do y'all like this or the other way more? If you want something a little longer, go watch my other ArtFight video, or any other video I've made that piques your interest. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you have a good rest of your week, and I'll see y'all later.